Starting on January 2024, 6 countries will attain official membership status within BRICS. Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates have received invitations to become full members, effective from the upcoming year. The inclusion of these 6 nations into the BRICS alliance unmistakably represents a significant victory for the original 5 member countries. However, the most prominent beneficiary is undoubtedly China, currently the world's second-largest economy. In today's video, we will delve into China's strategic plans in light of the addition of these 6 new BRICS members. If you enjoy content like this, you've come to the right place. Before we proceed, please ensure you subscribe to our channel to stay updated with more intriguing videos covering events in Asia. Recently, the 2023 BRICS Summit convened in South Africa, during which the host country announced that over 40 nations had expressed their interest in joining BRICS, with 23 submitting formal applications. On the surface, the selection of these 6 new members was the result of a consensus among BRICS countries regarding the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures for the expansion of the BRICS alliance. However, when we delve deeper into the situation, the inclusion of Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates into BRICS provides insight into the emerging global order that China aims to influence. China has persistently advocated for expanding the alliance and increasing its influence, even in the face of reservations from other members like India and Brazil. This expansion marks the first enlargement of the bloc since the inclusion of South Africa in 2010, and is poised to more than double the group's membership, thereby significantly broadening its global footprint, particularly in the Middle East. BRICS could emerge as dominant players in the oil and gas industry. With the inclusion of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran, this expanded BRICS group would encompass 3 of the world's largest oil exporting nations, accounting for 42% of the global oil supply. It's important to note that the management of the oil market will continue to fall under the jurisdiction of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allied producers, commonly known as OPEC+. However, looking into the future, the enlarged BRICS alliance could exert a significant influence on energy markets. Over the years, OPEC+ member states have voiced concerns about Western energy sanctions affecting countries like Iran and Venezuela, which have restricted investment and export capabilities. More recently, the European Union's embargoes on Russian seaborne crude oil and petroleum products, along with EU G7 price caps, have introduced a new sanctions mechanism targeting revenue rather than export volumes. Other oil and gas exporters are growing increasingly cautious about the possibility of future sanctions tools targeting them and are wary of G7 interventions that have reshaped energy trade dynamics. An expanded BRICS group would consist of both oil and gas exporters and 2 of the world's largest importers, China and India. Notably, both China and India have abstained from joining the price cap coalition aimed at Russia. In this context, producers and consumers within this group share a common interest in establishing mechanisms for trading commodities that are less susceptible to the influence of the G7 financial sector. This undertaking presents significant challenges. This suggests the potential for the petrodollar system to face collapse. As energy sanctions continue to proliferate, an increasing number of bilateral energy agreements are being settled in alternative currencies like the Chinese renminbi or Indian rupees. However, conducting oil or gas import payments in select currencies is still a long way from achieving full internationalization. This would involve third-party usage of the renminbi for transactions between other nations. While the current expansion of BRICS has mainly symbolic implications for energy markets, it serves as yet another indication that countries are exploring strategies to bypass the US financial system and reduce dependence on the dollar. Consider the scenario where all BRICS members decide to conduct oil transactions using currencies other than the US dollar. It's crucial to remember that 3 of the largest oil exporting nations, namely Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE, are part of BRICS, alongside 2 of the world's leading oil importers, China and India. Therefore, if the BRICS coalition were to shift away from the petrodollar, it could trigger a process of dedollarization, potentially leading to a substantial reduction in the dollar's market influence. And if that happens, China will be the biggest winner because renminbi will rise while the dollar falls. The expansion of BRICS and its implications for global energy security. The global landscape is rapidly evolving, particularly with the ascendance of electric vehicles. China, as the world's largest EV market, recorded the sale of 5.9 million units in 2022, accounting for 59% of global EV sales. China has firmly established itself as a major force in the EV sector, surpassing the European Union, the United States, and Japan. This graph shows that when focusing on passenger cars exclusively, China's share of the total global EV sales, reaching 10.2 million units in 2022, stood at an impressive 57.8%, significantly ahead of the EU at 19.4%, the US at 9.7%, and Japan at 1%. Within the EV realm, one of the most crucial components is the battery cells, which can represent up to 40% of a vehicle's cost. The key to creating a commercially viable EV lies in developing a powerful, reliable, and cost-effective battery. China possesses a distinct advantage in battery manufacturing. It commands a significant portion of the essential raw materials. While China may not be the primary source of natural resources for battery materials, it holds the majority of global refinery capacity for critical elements like cobalt, nickel sulfate, lithium hydroxide, and graphite. China's control over these chemical materials translates into ultimate dominance within the sector, a strategic pursuit that China initiated well in advance of other nations recognizing its significance. Indeed, other countries have begun to recognize the critical importance of securing battery materials and have initiated agreements with countries such as Chile and Australia to secure access to rare earth metal mines. Nevertheless, China's early start has provided its domestic companies with a long-standing and stable supply chain. So, how does this relate to the expansion of BRICS, particularly the inclusion of Argentina? Argentina's addition to BRICS enhances the bloc's access to lithium resources. This South American nation possesses the world's third-largest lithium reserves. According to a J.P. Morgan forecast from August 2022, Argentina's share of the global lithium supply is projected to increase from 6% in 2021 to 16% by 2030, surpassing Chile and becoming the world's second-largest lithium producer by 2027. Presently, Argentina boasts 13 lithium projects in its pipeline, surpassing any other country. With Argentina on board, BRICS will have 3 of the world's top 5 lithium producers, including China and Brazil. Additionally, BRICS aims to foster increased public and private investments in critical mineral supply chains among its member nations. Saudi Arabia, another newcomer to the bloc, is already making substantial investments in lithium and other critical minerals in Brazil. Recently, Saudi Arabia entered into a $2.6 billion deal to acquire a 10% stake in Vale's Base Metals division, Brazil's largest mining company, to gain access to various critical minerals, including nickel and copper. This partnership is pivotal for Saudi Arabia's ambition to produce 500,000 electric vehicles annually by 2030 through targeted investments. China is the big winner from BRICS expansion. If there's a shared characteristic that binds nearly all current and prospective BRICS members, it's their trade and investment ties with China. While both Brazil and India have not engaged directly in China's Belt and Road Initiative, all the new additions have, and they hold significant positions as key trading partners with Beijing. As we've come to understand, crude oil stands as the largest traded commodity globally. With the inclusion of Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates into BRICS, countries like China, India, and Russia will find themselves less vulnerable to Western sanctions targeting their oil and gas industries. Moreover, this strategic move has the potential to further the process of dedollarization if BRICS nations decide to move away from the petrodollar. Beyond that, China's concerns about securing essential minerals and rare earth elements, particularly lithium used in batteries, can be significantly alleviated. Argentina's wealth of lithium resources equips China to maintain its dominance in the electric vehicle and new energy sectors. These compelling reasons underscore why China eagerly anticipates the expansion of BRICS. Do you agree with us that China is the biggest winner within the BRICS alliance? Leave your comments below and tell us what you think. If you like what you watch, make sure you hit the like button to show your support. More importantly, subscribe to this channel so that you will continue to receive interesting videos about the happenings in Asia.